So guys, I've finally been granted access to the Marathon closed alpha. In today's video, we're going to be going over the factions and contracts system. In my opinion, just from playing over the course of today, the main thing that I've been doing is these factions because they are such an important part of this game. They grant you account-wide buffs to your account for the entire season. Things like increased storage in your vault, more agility, resistances to negative stats effects and stuff like that. Major upgrades that will be helping you within games and giving you slight or major advantages depending on how you look at it. So let's just dive straight in. First off, the factions page here. Inside of the closed alpha, we only have access to 3 factions, that being Cyberacme, New Caloric, and Traxxas. Now, each of these factions has their own contracts, as well as their own upgrade trees. So if we look at New Caloric here, you can see the contract that I have currently will be granting me a whole load of different New Caloric rep once I complete these specific challenges that these have. For this specific contract, it wants me to scan spark leaf incubators in South Relay on the perimeter map, then do the same thing in Overflow, and then also in the North or South Relay locations. Once I've done that, I'm not only going to be granted a whole load of faction reputation to rank up with the faction, but also a contract rewards package, which will be granting me a modded V22 Vault Thrower and some standard cores, which is very handy. But the main thing you're doing this for is to progress to unlock different upgrades within the said faction. So each faction comes with its own in-depth faction tree. This is New Calorics. You then also have Cyberacmes, and then you also have Traxxas. Each of them look different and come with similar but also unique upgrades. For example, one upgrade that I'm trying to get right now for Cyberacme is the rank 1 Cyberacme expansion. This will be increasing how much vault capacity I have, and I can also then go and get expansion plus and expansion plus to further increase my vault capacity, which is something that a lot of people are trying to get right now. Then for other stuff, you can also get tactical energy on container looting. So whenever you loot a container, you'll be getting tactical energy for your tactical ability, which is great. You can also get then Cyberacme Prime, which will be granting you prime ability recharge rate plus 10%, granting you a flat 10% bonus to your prime ability on different runners, which is so handy if you want to be using people like Void or Blackbird, because their prime abilities are very strong. But then you've also got other upgrades like increased agility here at the bottom, heat recovery delay, and it reduces the duration of negative status effects like toxin, overheat, and immobilize. These things are going to be potentially game changing within different rounds depending on if you run into these different negative status effects, or if you're using your heat more and stuff like that. Now, Cyberacme's main tree here is kind of small, but then when you get to the other factions, these ones can also unlock stuff within the black market. For those who don't know, the black market is a shop, basically, so if you die within a game, you can head over to the black market with the credits that you have in order to then buy items. So if you want to be able to buy backpacks, so then in your next run you can hold more items to extract with, New Caloric here has upgrades to allow backpacks to be sold within the black market. Then at rank 3, they also have the availability to purchase the V95 lookout weapon, which is also very good. And then for Traxxas, similar thing. You can be able to get the long shot sniper from the black market with this specific upgrade, which is very handy. They also then have shields being able to be sold within the black market as well. So if you are a fan of unique items within the black market or just want them to be more readily available, getting these specific faction unlocks is going to be very handy. But the main thing that you'll be needing to pay attention to with each of these different upgrades is the faction rank that is required and also the materials that are required to unlock them. So if we head back to the Cyberacme tree here, the upgrade I'm trying to get is Cyberacme Expansion. You can see just by looking at the icon in the top left, there is a number 1. This dictates what rank you need to be within the faction. So because I'm rank 1, I can get this upgrade. But I also need to pay attention to the bottom right. This will show you what materials you need in order to then unlock said upgrade. So for Cyberacme Expansion, you need 2,000 credits and 12 microprocessors. Now, these are a material that can be found within matches, and you need to extract in order to then have these materials returned with you after the game's over. But if you don't know where these items can be found, just by hovering over the items, you can see what their sources are and what these materials are used for. So if you find a material that you do not know what it's used for, go under usages, and you can see that these microprocessors are used for both Cyberacme upgrades and New Caloric vendor unlocks. things like that. And then under sources, you can see where you'll be finding these items. So for the map, you'll be needing to go on perimeter and then go to the north relay or south relay and then find them within core storage units, I'm guessing. Just by heading to these areas and looting different containers, you don't have a chance of finding these items, but then also, because there are other players who are also looting similar places, if you defeat an enemy, you're likely to find potentially these items on their bodies as well. So there's pros and cons to both either just hunting these items down by yourself or hunting down players that might also have them on them. I myself am probably going to go start hunting players for them because trying to find these things is a pain, especially when people have already looted them. And yeah, that's basically how factions work. They're a big part of the game, or if you're wanting to get more storage or just gain general buffs for your character, and each faction having their own unique rewards is very cool. One other thing to note is that you do not need to dedicate yourself to a specific faction. So for example, Traxxas here will grant you a little bits of reputation whenever you defeat enemies, I'm pretty sure. New Caloric, I think, also gives you little bits of rep whenever you loot stuff. That might also be Cyberacme as well. But just by playing the game, even without needing to complete contracts and stuff, you will be slowly but surely getting some reputation towards these different factions. And not having to lock myself down to a specific faction as well is very nice. One thing that I'm personally not a fan of though is that you can only have one contract available at a time. Now that does kind of make sense because they don't want to be over complicating stuff and giving you too many things to do within matches, but I would personally like to just have multiple, if not one of each faction's contracts available to me, so that then within a game I can say deal damage within these areas, but then also find the different things that I need to find also within those areas, kind of knock out two birds with one stone in a way. I can kind of understand not wanting to give me multiple for the same faction, but if I could at least get multiple for different factions, that would be a much smoother experience for trying to upgrade all of these different factions and get all of the unlocks that I am after. And then to end off here, one final thing that I want to talk about with factions is that I am really hoping that they add some kind of cosmetic reward to these factions. When I look back at Destiny 1, one of the main reasons I was grinding out factions was to get the different shaders and armor sets that were available for those factions. If there was something similar to this where I could get an exclusive runner skin for Blackbird or something for maxing out one of these factions, or a specific skin that I can put on one of my favorite weapons for maxing out these factions, that would be absolutely amazing and a big thing that I feel like a lot of people would potentially like to see. I know that they have talked about skins being in the game. I know that with Bungie there's probably going to be some big Eververse store within this game, but I really hope that factions will be a source of cosmetic rewards, especially when you get them to those maximum ranks within a season, within a given season. Maybe each season could have their own cosmetic rewards maybe. I have no idea, that's just my thoughts. Leave yours in the comments down below. And yeah, they're very fun to go and do. Hopefully, once I get to higher ranks within the factions, some of the contracts end up becoming more difficult. I do like, however, that some of the factions, if I want to be more combat focused, I can go for Traxxas. But then if I just want to be exploring and finding secrets, I can go with New Caloric and stuff. Stuff like that, just very satisfying to me. And I'm hoping that these other factions, once they become available, also have their own unique contracts to go and do. I'd hate to see some of these contracts being similar to one another. I like that they have their own unique identities, so if they could keep to that with having each contract be unique to the specific faction and what you want to do within a match, that would be very cool. But yeah, that's your breakdown on contracts and factions. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll be having more marathon videos coming out over the next couple of days, so make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on so you do not miss any future content. But with all that said, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you all in the next one.